Elsewhere, Bournemouth won for the first time in 13, beating Brighton 3-1. Villa, with a stoppage time winner, got the better of Watford, having trailed to a Troy Deeney goal. 2 goals in stoppage time for Newcastle United at Goodison as they came from 2 down to share the points. Sheffield United were beaten by a Sergio Aguero goal. He was on as a sub for just 7 minutes when he scored. Saints scored twice at Palace without reply, and the one that we've just seen there, 4 goals, 2 apiece, Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Now, it'll be interesting to see how the bottom looks. Norwich haven't yet been involved in this sequence of games. Watford back into the bottom 3. Bournemouth up 1 tonight as Watford fall 2. West Ham down. Villa's win lifts them out of the relegation places and into 16th. Brighton stuck on 25 points. Burnley 27. Newcastle and Everton and Palace all down, all on 30. So too Arsenal, as Southampton take 9th on the back of that win at Crystal Palace. Spurs, Sheffield United, Wolves, Manchester United from there. Chelsea just a point, so 6 clear of Manchester United, who play tomorrow, but they have played a game less. Leicester City, Manchester City, Liverpool from there. Tomorrow night there are 3 more games. Spurs playing Norwich, Leicester City meet West Ham, and Manchester United are at home against Burnley. Liverpool, if you're wondering, play on Thursday night. They go to Molineux. That one kicks off at 22:30 Mecca. So we'll show you all the goals from the Premier League when we rejoin you. Jason McAteer with Andy and myself as Chelsea and Arsenal finish all square at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal playing with 10 for the most part, which you would have to say then makes that a very good night for them, doesn't it?
It does. On the flip side of it, I think Frank will be really bitterly disappointed. I think Newcastle, they deserve the 3 points, and then today to be in front twice, numerical advantage after the sending off, you know, he'll feel he's dropped a big 5 points there, especially in the hunt for this Champions League place. You know, he's got big games coming up. He's got Leicester, Man United and Spurs in the next 4 games. Got the FA Cup at the weekend. So it was a real opportunity for Frank just to open that gap a little bit more on the chasing pack. Covering old ground, but for those that maybe weren't with us earlier, does David Luiz have to go there, Andy?
He probably could have stayed on, Richard. I think you would get a lot of people say he didn't have to go. He was trying to make an attempt to play the football.
Explain it for us then, double jeopardy.
Ben Mee had same. Sorry?
Explain it for us then, the double jeopardy law.
Double jeopardy used to be a few seasons ago for a situation like this, and you gave away a penalty like that, automatically you would get sent off. But what they say is, if you're making a genuine attempt to play the football and you give away a penalty, double jeopardy won't apply. You'll give the penalty, but you'll stay on the football pitch. So it was a referee's decision. He thought it deserved sending off. I'm not so sure it did.
And of course you didn't get the opportunity to go and have a look at it on the screen, on the touchline, because that's not allowed in the Premier League.
I mean, in fairness to Frank and his team, they'll wonder how they haven't won this game, won't they? I mean, it's just, they were so dominant, the numerical as well, but even when it was 11v11, they were the better side by far. And N'Golo Kante doesn't usually make mistakes like that. He's fallen over in the halfway line.
Are they too exposed?
No, I don't
No, they're actually set up all right, aren't they? I mean, men on the edge of the box, Kante.
So they get there and they've got 3v2 there.
That's a run from Martinelli there.
He would normally hold him up or win the tackle or do something, but it's very unlikely. A great finish from Martinelli. It really was.
I mean, the game, as Andy said, Arsenal, 2 shots, 2 goals.
Amazing.
The first half, nothing really happened apart from the penalty incident and Luiz being sent off. It come alive just on the hour, didn't it? When Arsenal scored, and then it was a decent watch, to be honest.
That's where he got injured, Tammy Abraham. Now, the game had stopped earlier. Arsenal had one down, didn't they? Xhaka, was it, in the box? Referee stopped the match. I think that's what really upset most Chelsea fans, that when Abraham was hobbling or fell over, he didn't stop the game. Chelsea didn't.
Well, Chelsea had the opportunity to stop the game, and
Put
it was
it out
a bit.
here.
Yeah, it was a bit. I mean, there was an opportunity before this on this side, on the right hand side.
Just go down.
Yeah, they got confused there. You could see actually.
He gets up, doesn't he? That's the problem.
You can see players trying to tell Emerson. They're looking at Tammy Abraham. He had gotten himself back up. He was hobbling about. And, I mean, they'd just be furious with themselves that they've allowed this situation to develop the way it did.
And he ends up being part of the Bellerin goal, doesn't he? Because his defending is atrocious. I mean, he goes, fair play to him, he gets back, he goes to close. Just there as he steps, he then opens the gap up for Bellerin to see the goal. It's on his weaker foot, but it's a great finish. But this step inside, you'll just see it here, there, and it opens it up. And he uses a defender to bend it around, and it's a good.
I think Jorginho would be happy with his contribution. Turned his back on it, just as he was striking it. Half a chance there.
I'm going to look after him here. It just takes a touch off the Arsenal defender, didn't it?
2-2 then. Let's hear from Granit Xhaka and the scorer of Arsenal's second, Hector Bellerin.
Granit, congratulations. That is a huge point. It must feel like so much more.
Yeah, I think we played very well after the red card. It's so difficult always with one man less, but great team spirit. We were speaking in the half time. We can do it, and we come twice back, and very proud of the team.
And Hector, come back in every sense for you. Come back into the team, and then of course the result as well. What a wonderful goal.
I mean, everything is, as Granit says, due to the teamwork. You know, it was a really, really, really hard game as it was. Then with 10 men, losing on a very important player for us. You know, especially in defence. And we turned it around since the minute that he got sent off. And at half time, we were only one down. We saw that there was an opportunity to get back into the game, and everyone fought. Everyone was defending in the box in that second half, especially. And that's what you need. And you earn points like this playing like that sometimes.
To respond twice with 10 men, that says something.
It is. You know, we're a team that we're always looking to improve, and we know that one of the things that we do is to be together, to defend together, to don't give up until the final whistle. And today, this feels like, as you say, much more than a point.
Because Mikel Arteta has been talking about wanting to see more character, more steel in the side, and particularly when he had such a disastrous start, not just the penalty, but the red card as well for David.
I think after this game, nobody have to speak about us because we show big character today. A lot of people spoke about us. We are not ready. We have no character in the team. But I think after this game, everyone have to make a big eyes.
And Hector, two spectacular goals. Yours, of course, but Martinelli's goals, 67-yard run, almost straight from a corner, 13 seconds.
Yeah, counter-attacks are one of the things that they're important in the game nowadays. And Gabi took it really well. He was very calm in front of the goal. You know, sometimes when you got so much time to think, it gets a bit difficult. But he finished it really well. And that's what we practice. That's what we do in training every day. And it's great to come out with 1 point.
You're enjoying life with Mikel Arteta, aren't you? And you were very, very impressive as a centre half this evening. A new position for you, I think.
No, I hope it's not the new position now. I think he knows I can play there as well, and I try to help the team, and I'm happy with the guys around. Make me easier today, and very happy.
Well, all 10 men could have been man of the match, and the two of you, of course, were huge contenders, but Hector just nicks it for that goal. If you could do the honours for me.
I didn't know we have a good left foot, but it's better after the operation. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well done.
18. Tell me where's another 18-year-old in Europe scoring this amount of goals? Maybe Sancho, but I think he's a top player, and Arsenal are lucky to have him. To have been at Manchester United and he was there on trial and they didn't take him, there's question marks there.
By the way, the shift he put in as well, like you talk about his quality, but we're watching it from this angle. The energy and enthusiasm,
back here,
desire,
that
is exactly what Arsenal have been crying out for.
He's playing on the left side. He's a centre forward at heart, and it's for every young kid that out there watching. There's too many players that come into the game nowadays. I'm a centre forward, and that's where I play.
Yeah.
Get shifted out to left wing or right wing. Have a sulk up. Don't put the shift in. Don't work like in that position you're meant to. This kid, come bring them kids down here to watch someone like him. The appetite he has for the game he's showing, the willingness to run back and help his fullback. How many times he was back there behind the fullback at times, busting a gut to get there, and then does that at the other end and still got the quality to score. He's showing that desire that other young kids, you need to see that. It's not about, I need to play in my position that I'm meant to be playing and I'm accustomed to. Yeah. No, you play where you can get into the team and then show your quality, and then do you deserve to play where you play them.
He's happy to do it, isn't he?
Yeah.
So many players don't necessarily want to.
It's refreshing.
I know it's not a night for contrast of performance, but Pepe's on the other side, not quite working in the same way. I think that's work in progress, and that can be much better. But if we were to compare the distances they've covered, the high intensity runs, and he's willing to get back here, and he's with another 18-year-old playing behind him, Saka, who also played exceptionally well. Really good performances from lots of players tonight.
And I think Xhaka has come in for a lot of criticism. I've been one to criticise him as well, but today, how we showed that, again, desire, the maturity, the mentality to slip into the back four and hold it all together was amazing. That's something that's inspirational for other players. Shifting again position, I'm going to make sure that we get this result. Fight, spirit. It was there for Arteta to see.
That's right. Just into they're going to kick on from here. They're going to use it. As footballers, does it genuinely make a difference next time you step on the pitch when you turn up tomorrow or the day after in training? The way you got a result rather than the actual result.
I think Arteta's got something in his thing now with his team. I think he gets his team back in tomorrow or the next day. He shows the lads Martinelli's movement. All them lads who've been accused of not being at it at times, Ozil's, your Pepe's, and say, look, this is the standard from Arsenal Football Club. It needs a performance like this where you can look at the team, they go above and beyond what they're capable of. I still don't think they're capable of getting the Champions League. I think that's gone. I think they've got to be building for the future, and they've got down this left side with Sacco and Martinelli. You sort of you put them, not embarrass them a little bit, but you put them on a pedestal and say this is the work ethic and the level that's needed for us, the new Arsenal. And you do that, and the rest of the team should go with them.
I think there he talked about the half-time team talk, and it's the message that comes from the manager, because you have to say it first before you go and do it. You have to say, he said to the group, I believe we can get back into this game. I believe we can win this game. Now that's a big message at half-time, and it came from him first. Some people are frightened of saying that, but if you say it first, you then do it. For me, that's impressive. But he sets the standard, the manager. We said he was ambitious before the game. He was talking about finishing in the top 4 position. I've seen enough now tonight for Arsenal to see maybe they can actually push towards that. I'm not sure they'll make it. It's going to be tough for them. They're 10 points behind Chelsea. It's a massive bridge to get over. But there was an awful lot of good stuff out there tonight when it went down to 10 men. The keeper was solid, sound. Bellerin scoring the goal that they needed, the captain coming back into the team, 2 young kids on the left.
Here is that
so
goal.
Many positives from Arsenal tonight. I can rarely remember a game, and they didn't win the game, but it feels like a win because you go down to 10 men and you've got to show some character, and look at that for a finish. And he's been out for an eternity with injuries.
I'm delighted for him because he has been out for so long. He's had such a bad run, and he's come back in and he's shown that spirit. He's got the arm balance. He's an obvious character. He's been there a long time, and he's someone that I'm sure has got a lot of
this is an Arsenal fan, an Arsenal fan striking it from distance with nothing else to lose. His team's backs against the wall, and it's an unbelievable finish. Of course, you can talk about the defending; it should be a lot better. Abraham comes back and doesn't defend, but from what he's been through, he's shown some real character there tonight.
But I agree with Joe. This is an opportunity now to look at a couple of performances individually, but also collectively at times, especially in shape and the way they got back. But in the intensity with which individuals defended and got to people, is to show that, get in your video room and say, this is the standard. I totally agree, because I've been in change rooms when a manager's done that and it lifts the group. Actually, there's the standard now. There's something to aim at, and they've had that enough over the years.
Very good. Okay, they didn't win the game, but it feels like Arsenal won it, whereas for Chelsea,